Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Coming up, the Aussies think we're a bunch of Sheilas when it comes to calling foxes in close, the bare-faced cheek. Plus, there are prizes to be won. Talking of foxes, we're having another bash at those with a taste for spring lamb. It's our new series, OutFoxing. OutFoxing, get it? We're out training gun dogs with the experts from Skinners Petfoods. We're at the Browning Open Day with the halt and the lame who call themselves shooting journalists, looking at what Browning's got on offer in the gun department for 2013. First, something to get you aroused. It starts well with a dash of erotic fiction. Then we get really dirty. Confused? It's Pellet Power and Performance with Gilchrist, Lupton and Crow. An old trick of gauging the power of your air rifle was to shoot at a telephone directory to see what page you could reach. Putting a twist on this method, we're using a different book, and we have 3 willing volunteers to put 3 sub-12 foot-pound muzzle energy rifles to the test.
It's been explained to me the reason that I've got a copy of 50 Shades of Grey is we've got 3 different calibers of air rifle, and what we're going to do is we're going to test out the penetration of all of the different calibers. What on earth? We've got the 22, the .2 and the 177. It's going to make me blush. And we've got myself going to be shooting, we've got Andy going to be shooting. He's just sex on legs. And we've got Mark going to be shooting. He kisses me again passionately. We're going to take a different caliber, shoot the book, and then we've got to read a page, No Man is an Island, from 50 Shades of Grey, wherever the pellet ends up. So it's going to be quite nice and light-hearted, and just see what offers the best penetration.
Mark is first up, and he's going to be shooting the pre-charged 177 Webley at the paperback sitting 25 yards away. He hits the target.
Actually, look at that.
Where's it stop?
Now he has to find the last resting place of the Accupel and read from the last marked page.
Oh no, he shakes his head. Oh yes, he says. She falls down to his knees. That's enormous. I can't take that much, Mark.
We think that's artistic license in many ways, but we have our first result. 265 pages of raunchiness achieved by the 177. That's impressive penetration. Next up is the mighty Crow with the .20 in break barrel. This caliber has a big following on the continent and is becoming better known over here. So how does a .20 do on the 50 Shades of Grey? Pretty well, actually. It isn't as smooth as a PCP, but it looks like Crow's packed a punch.
We're going still. What, is it just where it's broke the page?
Yeah. So if the page is not broken, that's where you stop.
Oh, we're on 308. I ain't reading this.
If you get stuck on the big words, I'll give you a hand.
Me and you are going to be tussling on the floor in a minute. It just goes on about a helicopter here. My wife hasn't got a helicopter.
I think that is actually a bit where they're not having sex. I think that is about a helicopter.
You found the only page without sex.
Yeah,
That's you've got a special rifle there.
I have. You're only jealous because I got to page 308.
Leaving Crow to find his helicopter, let's remind ourselves that the 177 hit page 265 and the .20 parted the paper as far as page 308. Finally, it's left to Roy to shoot the 22, and it's a controversial result.
We're on 236 going back. Whoa. 234. Whoa. Oh.
I want another shot.
No.
I want another shot.
No, you had the best air rifle.
No, but I shot it closer to the spine, so it was obviously a lot more compact. Yeah, no. I head for the kettle. I need tea. How was dinner? So it begins.
Roy's 22 busts into page 232, and in doing so comes last behind the .177, with the break barrel .20 delving, probing, feeling its way the furthest into the literary masterpiece. So what does this prove? Well, it shows that these rifles have enough punch to knock over 50 Shades of Grey squirrels, but we don't have squirrels this evening. We have rats. Thousands of them. So we leave our adult version of Listen with Mother or Jackanory and concentrate on this evening's air gunning action. We've been invited to a waste processing unit in Norfolk to join Ken, Paul and Stu, aka YouTube's KPS Hunters, friends with a passion for air rifles, and a venue that would equal for air gunners a high pheasant shoot in Devon.
thank you very much for inviting us up here tonight. You've got the whole Fieldsports channel crew up here, so what are we up to?
Well, tonight we're shooting on the transfer station,
Right.
and I promise there will be a lot of rats tonight.
There's going to be quite a few, isn't there?
There's going to be a lot of rats.
Have you got anywhere I can get up and out of the way?
Yes, yeah, there's a gantry up there, so you can climb up the
But
gantry.
there's no rats on it, no?
No, but you can shoot down on the rubbish.
That's
with
fine.
the
So long,
rats.
so long as they're not going to be running over my
No,
legs.
we've had that before, it ain't very nice. I was screaming off the chair.
So what do you reckon numbers-wise we should be able to...
Well, I mean, from previous occasions coming up here, I mean, we've got well in double figures, and like I said the other time, we got between 250 and 300 rats.
Right, okay, so
in one night.
You got a lot.
So as soon as you're loading, you're firing, you're reloading, so hopefully you bought plenty of magazines and pellets with you.
So long as we can hit a couple of bits.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right,
We'll
if we're
see
shooting
tonight.
straight, we're all right.
Yeah, we'll all get in our locations, and then we're taking turns each and get round the transfer station.
Superb stuff.
That'd be brilliant.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is. That'd be a great
If you hear any
night.
screaming, it'll be me.
And it'd be me.
This site is overrun with rats, and if anything's going to show how effective a decent air rifle is for pest control, this is. Roy, Mark and Crow are all using pre-charged sub-12 foot-pound air rifles. The brake barrel is taking a break because this is all about quick firing where a magazine works best. In total there are 7 of us shooting. Safety is a concern and everyone has a designated dump to shoot into, unless we're doubling up on the gantry. Below us, the rats just keep coming.
Shot.
This is unbelievable. We have got rats running everywhere. Wherever you're looking or wherever you're listening, all you hear is thump, thump. You cannot shoot fast enough. As soon as you've pulled one, there's another one. I mean, we've shot about 40, 50 here already, and they just keep coming. You on that one? Oh my God, they are everywhere. Literally, it is thick with them. I've never ever seen rats like this.
On the other side of the gantry, Crow is having a great time.
Having some great fun. I could stay all night. Lucky I don't live close, that's all I can say. I'll be here all the time. Does chuck up a bit, but you soon get used to it. But of course, there is a lot of rats here. Hell of a lot of rats. But all the time you can hear them running around you. And they're not small. They're all big stuff. I think all the small ones are eaten by the big ones. They're that big. They've got cats here, but they don't seem to catch many. I think they're too scared, and I think they spend all their time back in the shed there, eating cat food.
You do get the feeling that it wouldn't matter how many rats were shot tonight, they'd just keep coming. And if there were any doubt, here's the thermal image. They are everywhere. We are also getting yet more fantastic night vision footage, aided by Roy's new Nikko Sterling scope with the side parallax.
So yeah, getting the Nightmaster with the IR on it is really proving its worth here tonight. It is absolutely brilliant. We've got it focused in on the scope that we picked up when we went up to Highland Outdoors, and with the night vision unit on it and with the Nightmaster as our illumination on top, the results that we're getting are superb. So we're just picking the rats off as we go, and literally as soon as you can reload, we're picking up another rat down. So yeah, it is superb fun.
Roy's also brought along the Webley air pistol. He's been shooting targets at home, so knows what it's capable of.
We've got a 2.2 pistol that we're just trying. We've used it on the target back at home, and it is supremely accurate. Although the pistols are obviously not up to the same power that you get with the air rifles, it really does pump it out. And with this accuracy, if you can head shoot rats with it, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to knock them down. We've only got a 2-power scope on it, so we've got to get reasonably close. I want to try and get up to about 15 yards. So hopefully we can get, well, if we can't get close and personal with rats here, we'll never be able to do it. And I just want to see if we can take a couple off with this, with the light. Yep. How's that? It does work. Excellent.
With hundreds of pellets unloaded into the rat-infested piles of waste, it's time for an air refill and catch up with the KPS boys.
How are you getting on?
Not too bad, yeah.
You can, it's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, I've never seen shooting like this. They are everywhere out there.
You can't miss them.
No, I mean, it is
You
phenomenal.
don't have to bait them, you don't have to nothing. All you got to do is turn up and enjoy it.
That's it, it's brilliant.
It's a good night sport.
It is superb. As I say, I've never ever seen shooting like this. It is just brilliant fun, isn't it?
How'd you like it, all right?
Yeah, superb. Thank you very much for inviting us up. It's been brilliant
No,
so
that's
far.
brilliant. Are you off?
Not yet, no.
Oh,
Not
that's
yet.
good.
How many you got, do you reckon?
I've no idea. We just keep shooting. I mean, how long have you been shooting this place?
This is the fourth time we've been
Fourth
here.
time in
Really?
about
And look
5
how many
weeks,
rats.
6 weeks.
Every
Still
time, it's, over
You're not
100.
seeing a reduction in the numbers yet?
No, you never will.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's it.
Because
Perfect, isn't it?
people are coming up and really enjoying the sport
Sport,
up here.
exactly.
You can't fault this sport up here.
No, I mean, you can't get better sport than this, can you?
No.
It really is absolutely brilliant.
I mean, you've come miles, but I'm glad you think
It's
it's
got to be
worth
the-
it.
Oh God, yeah, no.
It's the
yeah,
best
it's brilliant.
rodent mission I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never seen shooting like this. I mean, you can't want to have more fun, can you? What?
I need some pellets, mate.
It's been a special night. Everyone has enjoyed some extraordinary sport. In total, we probably shot more than 300 rats, and still they kept coming. Maybe the KPS hunters need to start up their own ratting sporting agency, as it's going to take some impressive rat bags to get this lot under control. And if anyone wants a copy of a well-thumbed 50 Shades of Grey with a few holes in it, drop me a line. We might even get the boys to sign it. So, ratting in a dump in Norwich. Last week we had ibex in the mountains of Spain. Still, variety is the spice of life. If only there were more variety in our newsreaders. It is David on the Fieldsports channel, News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Britain News. American shotgun virtuoso Tom Knapp has died at the age of 62. The man who revived exhibition shooting in the USA during the 1980s, he was the first to throw 10 clay targets in the air and blast them all before they could hit the ground. Sponsored for most of his career by Benelli, he recently moved to CZ USA. Badminton Horse Trials is on this weekend from the 2nd to the 6th of May 2013. The Gloucestershire event is expected to attract a record crowd to watch riders including William Fox-Pitt and Andrew Nicholson. Badminton Horse Trials is the second biggest sporting spectator event in the world, after the Indianapolis 500 car race. A former soldier who lost both his legs below the knee in a roadside attack in Iraq 3 years ago has been given the chance of going stalking. Last week, keen shooter Alan Roberts joined Blesma and Help for Hero supporter Lee Jackson in Wiltshire for 2 days of free stalking. Alan is a member of the Blesma Transformers and a member of the world's first all-amputee skydiving team. Alan was delighted to stalk into and shoot 2 roebuck, and his mate Eddie Nash shot a muntjac. Scottish landowners and gamekeepers are backing a new initiative to stimulate public interest in the hen harrier. People are being asked to report sightings of hen harriers to help the authorities determine how many are left and where they can be found. More than 1,000 people, including 200 mounted, attended the farewell meet of Diana and Maurice Scott, the joint masters of the Devon and Somerset Staghounds. Together they've been joint masters of the pack for more than half a century. The British skate record has tumbled to a 235-pound monster. David Griffiths caught it 1.5 miles off the coast of Oban on the boat Laura Dawn 2. Angling Times magazine reports that the Welsh specimen hunter took 1.5 hours to haul the 7-foot 6-inch long skate up through 500 feet of water while he was on his holiday in Scotland. And finally, a viewer sends us this film. A friend of his is a gamekeeper who has shot hundreds of foxes. However, in that soft way we country people have, he adopted this orphan fox, which gets on famously with his young terrier, and even betters it in this game of rough and tumble. So much so, maybe it's time to replace our terriers with foxes. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Britain News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Do your tie up. Now, later on, we've got some high-vis night vision foxing. But first, let's see what's going on around the world in Hallo Charlie. Here's what the world's up to this week.
Hello Charlie, it's Richard Hardy on the beautiful little chalk stream River Ebble. Wiltshire-Dorset border, opening week, sun shining, can't wait.
We're all wild fish on the River Ebble, but the trout successfully spawned even through last year's floods. There's fry everywhere. The bigger fish are moving back into their feeding spots. Some of them are even rising.
Hello Charlie, I'm Daniel from Germany, and here it's the end of April, and I'm trying to kill time till buck opening at 1st May by trout fishing. So I gave the rod to my girlfriend who had never fished before, and on the first cast she catched our dinner, a nice brown trout.
Hello Charlie, this week I'm at Ronnie Sunshine's, the premier airgun store in Berkhamsted. I'm filming the first of my pistol shooting series in the indoor ranges upstairs.
Hello Charlie, I've come shooting with Mr Ian Woodliff. He's most kindly offered to teach me the art of bunny killing. My name's Jane Bailey and I work at York Guns, okay? So we're going to go see rabbit. Oh.
Send us your own Hallo Charlie. Film yourself on your mobile phone, just a sentence saying Hallo Charlie, who you are and what you're up to. Then share it or email it via YouTube, Facebook, Dropbox, or you send it, you name it, to charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Thank you one and all. Good effort and please keep them coming. Next, we have got a new series on fox shooting, OutFoxing. Over the coming weeks, we're going to show you the tips, tricks and kit people use to outwit this most cunning of quarry. This week, we are protecting lambs from foxes with our own little bo peep. It is Roy Lupton. Roy has a new foxing vehicle, inherited from his mate Brian. The last time we were out in this beast was the night of the 21 foxes. That's something we'll be trying to surpass later this year. Right now, it's not the double figures we're after, just the rogue foxes that are enjoying the lamb takeaways here in the southeast of England. We've already had some success lying in wait while combining the whistle with an electronic Western Rivers Night Stalker Pro positioned remotely from us. However, the farmer is still finding carcasses and Roy needs to get a move on. Our first port of call is up on the North Downs, where a lot of the problems are concentrated. Darren is the one shooting tonight. Roy hasn't recovered from the last bitter night's foxing and is staying near the relatively luxurious Land Rover heating vents. Roy and Darren spot a set of eyes. David is filming with a wider infrared beam. He spots two sets of eyes and keeps his camera wide, not knowing which has the crosshairs on it.
You want it? To the left or right? Straight in front, slightly to the right. There's two there.
The one on the right falls on the spot and Gary goes to get it. It's a young vixen.
Well, that is absolutely superb. Darren took another nice shot there. This is one of the main places where we've been having a lot of trouble. The foxes have really been hammering the lambs up here on the hill. That's the 7th fox that we've taken off this ground in the last week, and they're still causing a lot of problems. The interesting thing is, that's the 3rd vixen that we've taken from this field. One of the vixens was a milky vixen, and the other 2 have been barren. So again, it just goes to show when you've got a food source like this, all of the foxes will just pile in, and you've just got to keep on top of them. So unfortunately, when you've got a lot of young lambs out like this, they really will sort of hit them hard. And obviously when you've got that many foxes coming in and taking lambs, it really is a massive financial burden for the farmer.
Our second customer is back down the valley and certainly likes living life on the edge. Unfortunately a little bit too much. The skyline shot is a no-go. A little further along and the Nightmaster 800 IR Illuminator yet again gives us a chance at a lamp-shy fox. It's a 200-yard shot, but Darren executes it well and there is no doubt about the result. But can we find it? No, we can't. Roy even goes back the next day to clear up. The farmer wants the place free of all carcasses, if at all possible. Of course, not every fox is going to be eliminated from the equation, but Roy and Darren have taken out enough to make it a worthwhile exercise. Lupton always gets his fox. He's taken a dozen Charlies off that ground. Now let's talk Aussie rules foxing. Our friends from Down Under were so appalled at Roy's recent efforts, they've sent their own film in, showing us how it's done. The Aussies, as we know, are a competitive bunch, and after seeing Roy dressed as a leaf calling in foxes to just a few yards away, they want us to know they're watching and weeping tears of joy. They feel our poor pommy efforts are pathetic.
Recently, while watching Fieldsports Britain's episode 167 featuring the human leaf,
we noted with interest how Roy and David used a little Aussie invention called the silver fox whistle.
and with the aid of a leaf suit and the fox whistle, tried to call in a fox as close as they could get, which really didn't look all that close.
So let's see what they can do. These foxes certainly come flying in.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's not bad, eh? Even Ron's 96-year-old great-uncle still has the magic touch. Now, we love Australians. We invented them, but they are a competitive lot. They want to know if there's any other country out there who can call better than they can. So we can now reveal, oh dear me no, a couple of hairy roo dodgers. Well, that was amazing footage. Or are you the kind of whinging pom who believes in bodyline bowling techniques and thinks that you could do better? Well, then the challenge goes out to you. Rocket Ron's come up with a competition idea called Close Call. Simply send in a video of yourself calling in a wild animal, and we will run them probably towards the end of June, offering a huge prize pot, including one of Ron's silver fox whistles and some other kit, donations welcome, and of course the glory of the everlasting approbation of these Fieldsports channel viewership. Send us the videos via YouTube, you send it, Dropbox or Facebook to charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Now, if you're the kind of person who has trouble calling even their dog to heel, you'll want to watch Skinners Gundog Training Tips. How do you communicate with your dog? For top gun dog trainer Howard Kirby, the whistle is essential. It's practically its own language.
A good dog handler, particularly a spaniel handler, uses his whistle as little as possible. The less you do with the whistle, the more the dog does. And of course, if you've got someone in the background constantly shouting, "Stop, come here, go there," blah, 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 puts you off, doesn't it? We want him to get his head down and know his job. Good trainer teaches his dog to do the job. But we've got core whistles we need. A series of whistles tells the dog to come back. That's how we train him. Doesn't tell him anything. We train him to understand that. We also train the dog so when he hears single blip, just to stop and sit. And then in the case of our spaniels, and there are variations on this wherever you go, we just double pip to tell the dog to turn, to change direction and come back across us. So single pip to stop, double pip to turn, series of pips, come straight back now. And I'm using a silent whistle here. There's all variations on whistles. It doesn't matter as long as you're consistent with the whistle you use.
Do you use different whistles for different dogs?
Yeah, I do. As it happens, I use this little silent whistle for my spaniels because we're using the whistle quite a lot to keep turning the dog, so it keeps the whole volume thing down. And I use this plastic Acme whistle, 211.5 in this case, on my retrievers. As I say, different people have different ideas. It really doesn't matter as long as your dog is familiar with that whistle and the commands you give.
Howard Kirby runs Mullinscourt Gun Dogs from Lanes Shooting School near Andover in Hampshire. Visit mullinscourt.co.uk. This series on gun dog training tips is brought to you by Skinners Petfoods, maker of the Field and Trial range of gun dog feeds. Visit skinnerspetfoods.co.uk. Now the sun is coming out and the gun manufacturers are keen for us to try out their rifles and shotguns new for 2013. Are you a Browning lover? If so, here's what Browning has on offer this year. Browning press launch of new shotguns and rifles. An A5 semi-auto shotgun, a British version of the B725, a new driven big game rifle called the Maral, and a new GRS stock for the X-Bolt rifle. The reptiles have gathered at the award-winning Ian Coley Shooting School in Gloucestershire to try them out. First up, sporting shooter editor Dom Holtham finds out about the new A5.
So, David, we're here today to try the new Browning A5.
Yes.
It's a very distinctive looking gun.
It certainly is, isn't it?
It is.
It's the hump is back.
The hump is back, so it has a very distinct hump back here.
It's a bit like the auto your granddad would have shot, the old Auto 5, which had the distinctive hump back. On the old Auto 5, the barrel recoiled, but on this one, it's a totally different mechanism. It's what we call a kinematic drive. Basically, the energy from the first shot is used to drive the gun for the second shot. Okay. And it's all done by a spring, which is in the bolt. That's the main difference. So the internals are very, very simple on this gun. There's hardly anything to go wrong, which is why we guarantee it for 100,000 shots. If you're a serious gamekeeper or a vermin controller, you're using your gun in a professional capacity, you're not that fastidious about cleaning it, then I would recommend the A5 above the Maxus.
So for your Mark Gilchrist of this world, who are not renowned for being gentle on their equipment.
It's a gun for Mark Gilchrist. We nearly called it the Gilchrist.
Now, one of the lovely things about the A5 is the speed loading facility. Need to reload? It's simple. Just push the cartridges in from underneath. You can do it under pressure and without looking. However, when it comes to the official press demonstration, it's suddenly not so easy.
Alternatively, you can turn it upside down and use the speed load port. Alternatively, you can turn it upside down and use the speed loading facility. So you literally just flick it in with your thumb.
Good to go.
Okay. Anyone could do it, even an idiot.
Sadly, we couldn't find an idiot.
It always happens on camera, doesn't it? Maybe he'd be better off with a more straightforward new B725. The Browning boffins listened to the British and have come up with a new version that's designed to appeal to the UK market. Here's the verdict from Patrick Tillard of Fieldsports Quarterly magazine.
Yeah, it's been a great day, got pretty lucky with the weather. Yeah, spent most of the day with the B75, the black model, which so I've been out of practice for a bit, but it was yeah, nice gun, managed to hit a few. Ground's quite testing, got harder as the day went on, but yeah, good fun, nice gun. It seems, well, having seen today the Browning range, it seems that yeah, £2,000 to £4,000 can buy you, a nice, probably nice gun.
On other products, there's a new adjustable stock for the X-Bolt rifle. The big rifle launches the Maral, which comes in 308, 3006, 300 Win Mag and 9.3x63, which you can see on the Browning stand at the CLA Game Fair. One thing's for sure, after today's launches you will be reading a lot about these shotguns and rifles in the sporting press. Next up, it's Hunting YouTube, not quite as international as usual, but full of hunting and fishing goodness from the UK and the USA. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting, shooting and fishing videos that YouTube has to offer. Ever wondered where all those lovely pheasants and partridges come from? Now Basque has uploaded the definitive film to tell their story. The Game Farm shows how game farming can be the cornerstone of a successful shoot, sophisticated breeding programs, careful selection, all the science and magic that go into producing fit, happy birds. And we all like fit, happy birds. Now bringing on pheasants is one thing, but predator control is another part of the great shoot equation. Viewer Jason Orrock recommends prairie SWAT coyote hunting. We're in South Dakota with Ben, Gavin, Bo and Nick shooting coyotes, calling them in just like foxes. Talking of foxes, let's go back to the high old days of fox hunting in the 1980s and 1990s. Fox and hound action from yesteryear shows a montage of bolting and running foxes and screaming hounds in Wales. To fishing, viewer Guy Baxendale recommends Carp Fishing Tips Urban Banks 4 with Alan Blair. Set in Northlands Park, Basildon. Carp fishing on YouTube is a crowded place, but this is easily one of the best channels. Viewer Nigel Ellis Gray goes international with his recommendation. Nearly 5 minutes of epic rod bending action on the Fraser River, British Columbia, Canada, after monster sturgeon. Nigel says his son, who lives in Vancouver, has done this and calls it one of the great experiences of his life. Sam from SRS Power submits his latest video, pigeon shooting over oilseed rape. As usual, it starts with nearly a minute of car driving, but hang in there, it gets to the action. A good day at his dad's friend's farm. FX Peeper sends in his review of the 60 foot-pound Day State Air Ranger. It is complimentary. Finally, Louis from Essex Bushcraft is taken by UK Hunters 1's catapult hunt for wood pigeon, squirrel and even duck. Now, the jury is out on using catapults on pests and game, and this video really does nothing to further the cause, as these look like park birds and animals with no fear of humans until the human behind this video does for them. But rest assured, the Royal Horticultural Society recommends catapults for garden pests, so they must be okay. You can click on any of these films to watch them. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, send it in via YouTube or email me the link charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, we are back next week when we'll be having a go at muntjac. If you are watching this on YouTube, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button that's somewhere around the outside of the screen, or go to our webpage, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, or scroll down to the bottom of the page, pop your email address into the constant contact form, and we'll get in touch with you about our programme that's out every Wednesday, 7 PM UK time. This has been Fieldsports Britain.